In this video, I'm going to give you my perspective on the Red Pill philosophy and the MGTOW movements. Those are basically, for some of you guys who maybe never heard of them, they're movements for, I guess, exclusively for males. And so everything that is talked about within these movements, if you go on the forums online, it's basically man stuff, like for men. It's for men, right? So it's almost like by default membership is for males, because both movements focus on what it's like to be a male and how do you establish yourself as a male in this world. So I've heard about these two movements when I was back in the day, when I was doing pickup and seduction, and I was trying to like figure my own relationship relative to the world around me. So I looked at myself, I said, well, I guess you're a male. I guess you're a male. What's your relationship to females? What's your relationship to, everything else around you? And I've heard of them, and I brushed on a little bit on some of the concepts discussed there. Then I went on to do other things. Then you guys, a few of you guys brought it up to me again and said maybe you can make a video on it. So I'm vaguely aware of like the values and the things discussed in it. And I have to say, with the uttermost compassion, and I will make a case for MGTOW, and I will make a case for the Red Pill philosophy, but with the uttermost compassion, and I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, I think both movements are full of shit. With my compassion, with my love, I think both movements are full of shit, and I will explain to you why they're full of shit. But before I do that, I will make a case for MGTOW, and I will make a case for Red Pill philosophy, and then I'm going to show you why they're full of shit. So, if you're a Western man living in the Western world, it should be clear to you by now that women here have basically like really are milking, and I'm talking here now in general, right? They're milking the whole feminist equality thing that has been going on, right? If we look at history, we see that yes, women have been oppressed for the majority of it, and this is a man's world to a great extent. So the movements of feminism and other women's right groups and equality was very, very understandable, and I would say necessary. But if you're living now in the West, you know that it's being taken way too far. It's being taken way too far. So as a response mechanism to this, we get these angry, frustrated, pissed off men that feel marginalized by women, by society. And they say, well, I'm sick and tired of your shit, woman, and we're going to put some lines here. We're going to put some lines. So in the MGTOW philosophy, essentially, there's like few stages. I did a little bit of reading on it. And stage 4, the last stage, is you essentially just kind of live off the grid, and you don't even get near women anymore. Like, it's men gone their own way, right? So it starts off with slowly renouncing women, and it's funny because it kind of resembles Buddhism a little bit in a very weird, perverted way. Okay, because Buddhists renounce everything. They renounce sex, they renounce everything. They go to a monastery. So, it's funny because MGTOW is like this perverted, weird way of manifestation of Buddhism in a perverted way. Again, the word perverted just means in a reversed, peculiar way, right? So, yeah, and then the Red Pill philosophy basically is not very fond of women, right? And so you have these natural rebounds to this imbalance that is going on right now at the moment in society, right? This imbalance of women taking the whole equality feminism thing too far. Now, The MGTOW and the red pill philosophy, without a doubt, I don't care if you're gonna try and make a case for it, but they're without a doubt hostile of women and not very fond of them and hold a lot of resentment toward women. That's just, you can't argue that. It's like a religious, it's like somebody coming up to me and telling me, you know, I grew up as a Muslim, right? So it's like somebody telling me, the Quran never says to kill. It's like, no, it says it's there, right there in front of your eye. Okay, it's like right there in front of your eye. It says it. There's many verses I can pull up where it says it. So you can't argue. Like, you can try and make the case for it, but it's right there. Okay, it's right there. It's in front of your face. Same thing. You can make the case. No, MGTOW is this. Red pill philosophy is that. No. We don't hate women. We love women. It's just, we've got to do things this way and that way. It's like, no. There is this clear, dark perception of women. The red pill philosophy basically sees them as sex objects, and MGTOW says just stay away from them altogether. And it's a natural, this is where I'm going to try to be as compassionate as possible. It's a natural response to what's been happening lately. But don't you see what's going on? Don't you get it? Don't you see what's happening here? Hate only creates more hate. And the pendulum is going to keep swinging. It's going to keep swinging. So now we have these men's right groups, let's call them, right? Or, men groups. And they're going to push against this imbalance of feminine values or whatever, okay? And then they'll gain some ground, and then the women are going to get fucking sick and tired of it, and then they're going to push again. And the pendulum's gonna keep swinging. Okay, it's gonna keep swinging. Because hate only creates more hate. Resentment only creates more resentment. You put out the vibration of resentment, you get back the vibration of resentment. You create more resentment in the world, in the universe. And I think what we've got to understand is that men and women are simply roles in which we happen to inhabit, to be in this role at this particular moment in time and space. You're a woman, I'm a man. For now. Right now. Right here. In this current point in space-time. But somewhere down in my next incarnation, you're gonna be a man and I'm gonna be a woman. And then we're gonna keep doing this yin-yang, masculine, feminine thing over and over and over and over and over until we both learn that we're the same. That we are actually the same essence. That we are a spiritual consciousness thing that is having this temporary human experience, and the whole point of the human experience is love. It's a love simulator, you can think of it. Is to realize the oneness of everything, that everything is one and all is one. I don't know why I still have the seatbelt on. That everything is one, all is one, and we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. If we can come to this understanding collectively as a species, that hey guys, by the way, like, we're one consciousness, and we're just kind of having these subjective manifestations, and man, woman, we all get to experience it over and over and over and over. So let's come to realize that at the core we're the same, and then superficially at this physical plane of existence, in this physical reality, we happen to be currently playing different roles in the drama, in the cosmic drama, because make no mistake about it, this is a cosmic drama. We're inside a movie, we're inside a video game. Make no mistake about it, and sooner or later you will come to the same realization. We're inside a simulation, we're inside a computer simulation, And it's a love simulation. It's a love simulator. It's here to teach you how to be more love, how to remember who you are. And if we live primarily from the soul, primarily from the genderless, eternal consciousness, the soul, the spirit, cosmic energy, primarily as that, and then secondary as man and woman, we will be much more tolerant of each other. We will be much more in harmony with each other. And we will be able to transcend this world of dualism into non-dualism, which is absolute reality. So as long as we're inside the dualism, man, female, masculine, feminine, day, night, we will continue to be stuck in the illusion. We will continue to be stuck in this wheel of birth and death. And the way to escape this wheel, the way to be liberated, the way to reach moksha, the way to reach nirvana, is to transcend the world of dualism into non-dualism. And so as long as we're stuck in yang and yang, male, female, we're going to just keep getting stuck over and over, create more karma. That's what's happening. You know, by creating more resentment out there, by putting it with intention. If your intent is resentful, you know, this is the difference. I mean, you know I compared MGTOW to Buddhism, but really, like, there's a huge difference, because the intent of a Buddhist is to reach nirvana. It's to get closer to God. But the intent of a MGTOW comes from a place of resentment. So seemingly they're doing the same thing. They're pursuing the same thing, but the intention is completely different. Different karma being created, and it's just a different thing altogether. One, the MGTOW in this case, is getting more lost and drowned in the illusion of separation, in the illusion of duality, by going on their own. And the other, the Buddhist in this case, is actually getting closer to the non-dualism, to the absolute reality, to the oneness, by becoming a renunciate. So do you see the difference here? There's a big difference. Okay, there's a big difference. It's the intent. This is an intent-based reality. It's an intent-based simulator. And if your intent is resentful, you're going to keep creating resentful karma, and good luck, because God knows how many more lifetimes you have in front of you before you realize this, and before you become it. I wish you the best of luck. Okay, seriously. So I don't know how we will get more of our human species to understand, to have these non-dual experiences. This is why I talk about my experience with psychedelics in this channel, because it has given me the direct visceral experience of experiencing reality in its absolute sense from a non-dualistic perspective. So when I came back into the world of duality, I realized that, okay, I am playing the role of a man. I'm not going to deny it. You know, I have tendencies that are masculine tendencies, and I will continue to act upon them until the day I die. This is my role in the cosmic drama. You don't tell somebody in a movie, you're gonna play the bad guy, and then in the middle of the movie he's playing the good guy. It just doesn't work like that. Otherwise, you can't even shoot the movie. He needs to play the bad guy in the movie. I need to play the role of a man in this movie until I get my next casting. You know, until the casting people give me a different role, and then I'll take on that role and I'll play it. But right now, the casting people have given me the role of a man, a male. You know, I've got a penis and I've got tendencies that are masculine oriented. So I'm going to honor that. I'm going to honor this incarnation, this role. I'm going to honor the casting people, and I'm going to honor my role. And my role in this cosmic movie includes me being a male. I'm not saying to ignore that. I'm actually saying no, absolutely. Play out the role, because that's your role. That's your given role in this round, this time around. But just remember, it's a role. Like, I'm sure the bad guy in the middle of the movie is like not, like in the movie he's trying to kill the good guy. But I'm sure, like, whenever they're not shooting, right? Whenever the movie's not shooting, he's not going trying to kill the good guy, because he knows, hey, we're just playing these roles and this is a movie. You know, he probably in all likelihood likes his co-actor or actress, right? So yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, you know. Hey, look, you know, I happen to be playing a male character, you happen to be playing a female character. Yes, you're different than me, I'm different than you. Let's not get caught on the differences. Let's honor them, embrace them, recognize them, but let's not get caught on them. Let's not build resentment around them. Let's not create hate. Let's not spread more negativity. And let's try and use these differences to transcend them, using the world of duality to transcend duality and have non-dualistic perspective, non-dualistic experiences, which, I mean, you know, they're experiences. They're hard to talk about. You know, they're for you to experience. They're for you to experience, really. At the end of the day, there's no words to describe them. So that's why I think the MGTOW and the Red Pill philosophy are full of shit ultimately. But I also have the compassion and I understand why men are attracted to these ideologies, to these movements, because, you know, it's this constant imbalance in the world, man. This constant imbalance in the world, this constant yin and yang, this constant fighting, this constant pickering, this constant focus on the differences as opposed to focus on the similarities, because you have far more in common with a woman than you think you have. Mortality, for one thing. You and her both die, okay? You and her both die. You're both going to die, right? How about that for a commonality, huh? How about that for a commonality? Hey, on a first date, hey, nice to meet you. You know you're going to die and I'm going to die too. Let's talk about that. Oh boy, oof, we're going to die. It's like the 500-pound elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. You know, you're going to die, I'm going to die. You know that? You know that? Do you know that we're both going to die? You know, there, right there, that's something in common. Both of you shit and eat food, and, you know, it's like really like you're both spiritual beings having a human experience, and you're just playing these different roles. So yeah, honor the roles, but don't fucking take them seriously, right? That's to me what all these movements are. Feminism, MGTOW, Red Pill philosophy. It's you taking a role way too seriously. And I'm here delivering a message from the director and the managers and all the casting people. Stop taking your role so goddamn seriously, okay? That's it. Check out my free book, 5 Powerful Habits to Dominate Life in All Areas. It's for free, and it's pretty cool. You know, it'll help you figure your shit out when it comes to women, when it comes to your life in general, okay? So check it out, 5powerfulhabits.com, or in the description you'll see the link for it. It's like 19 pages. You can just like read it while taking a shit, right? And other than that, I love you guys. I love you, male, female, man, woman, masculine, feminine, bisexual, gay, transsexual, asexual, sexual, okay? Because I know that inside of you is a divine spark, and that's exactly the same spark that is within me, and that's what I'd like to focus on here. And that's it. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.